And now Kanye and Kim Kanye or whatever, they getting about to get divorced.
Like, did you say this? Like, if we go into the archives and previous show, did you say this before? Because I felt like I heard somebody say that there was a divorce, and I did not believe it.
Yeah, there was rumblings of them getting divorced. Now she filed for that divorce.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Kanye, this is the first time he got married, one divorce. Kim, how many times she got divorced? Three or four?
Well, married. So she got married with the Brooklyn Nets basketball player, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
She had another one that it was annulled. It was like a one. It was annulled on there. It was very.
That's the one. That's the one.
No, it was another one. No. The Brooklyn one she had for a while. He was like a 2 months. 2 months.
Well, they had less than a month. 2 months is a while.
that's long for her standard. I don't even know how she even keep up with Kanye West that long.
Well, you know what? It is funny. They actually think how the hell does she deal with Kanye?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
All his craziness, I kind of feel bad for her in the long run. But all his craziness with his obviously the mental health is not a joke, but he has a lot of mental issues.
Yeah.
So
did you ever see the episode on you know how David Letterman on Netflix he has that interview? Did you ever see the one with him and Kanye?
Snippets.
You got to watch it. So it starts off pretty good, right? It starts off with David Letterman getting to know who Kanye is. You know, the musician. We know Kanye goes way back with Jay-Z, his brain, his intelligence as a producer.
Okay.
Good music. It goes in, right? And it starts off good, right? And it shows how every Sunday he does like the church seminars and he does the with the blue lighting and everything. It starts off good. And then he starts talking about, mental health, being bipolar, how like otherwise people may not take it serious. And it just takes a turn. And you can tell by the way David Letterman starts to react to his answers to the question where he's like, this guy is not necessarily just bipolar. He's on a whole nother level of just not understanding. Now, no disrespect to Kanye and the way his mind works because he is a genius when it comes musically.
Some way a genius.
Yeah, but it's like personally in public he's a different type of person, and that interview kind of taps into say that like he's not who we think he is. And I think Kim, granted they have 4 kids, I think it was at this point.
Was that is it 3 or 4? I don't even know. Most of those they pop out like ovens because they technically none of them get pregnant besides one of them.
It's like the Jackson 4s now.
Yeah.
5s, but 4s.
Remember one night, speaking of Michael Jackson, you ever notice that it just come out of nowhere? He just got a kid. When he had his 2 kids, he just
it's funny. The kid was never a baby.
Yeah,
the kid is already like 5, 6,
just
7,
like
8
that.
That's
That's exactly what Kim and Kanye West did.
You never see it as like a kind of a baby.
They just come in all of a sudden like Jackson has a kid. Paris, okay.
Paris has already got legs that's longer than his arm.
Kanye with Kim, it was bound to happen. 2 different views. A lot of people saying that Kim kind of used him to get her initiative of releasing all the inmates and things like that. A lot of people say that was used. Obviously, Kanye's a billionaire now. Kim can make her own money.
Her net worth, I believe, is around $600 million.
Yep, and then he's a billionaire.
Yeah, $2 billion, around $2 billion. So you'd figure. There would be some type of like.
They had it was reports saying that they had a prenup. Yeah. So I wonder who had the prenup. Was it Kim or was it Kanye?
See, the thing, that's a tough one because they both have their own entity already in place.
But at the time, I think it was Kim had the prenup because she had more money than him. He was having problems.
This is before Yeezy's blew up.
Yeah, before Yeezy blew up. Well, it's not before Yeezy blew up, but before he was in a lot of issues with financially. But
like maybe you can correct me. This is like right after Amber Rose.
Right, it was right after Amber Rose.
So you figure he was more on.
He was on a decline. Decline money wise. I don't know about decline talent wise because I think
not talent, but I'm saying you would think like just based on the emotional aspect of being in that relationship to just not being in it because we don't know how that went. But
he was a junkie at the same time. He always had issues, but I think he's gonna have some good music.
His music is great, but
I wonder if he's gonna have some great music coming out ever since this.
Well, I mean, there's the Heartbreaks, right?
Yeah, 808 and Heartbreak. That was a phenomenal album. I think.
It's funny. I listened to it because you told me that.
You can always tell Kanye West's mood by his albums with every relationship. Yeah. Amber Rose days was Graduation, College Dropout before Amber Rose, and then Graduation, and then what is it? Late Registration. Those are good albums. Obviously, with Kim, he had some horrible albums with Kim.
And that's when he got the one with Nas right after?
Yeah, the best one in my opinion with Kim was My Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah.
And,
that's actually a great album.
Yeah, that was Life of Pablo was a good one too. Mm-hmm. Those two. So he probably had his classics with Kim. Now, whoever decided to get with Kanye afterwards, hopefully he has a great album. Because, the best albums come out is either Heartbreak or it's never come out when you're with someone.
It could, but I think he's pretty much, I feel like anyway, I think he's like now more so on the business side. I mean, you told me he has Gap now. I didn't know until you told me that he was involved with that. But Yeezy's on a whole nother level.
Music is supposed to be, I know a lot of people have that, but you always have to adapt, just like how Jay-Z adapt. Congratulations for that deal too, Jay-Z. Just how Jay-Z adapt. Music is always your concrete. That's how you build your wealth.
Absolutely.
And the rest is just
it's your
easy.
heart.
Exactly.
It's your heart.
Exactly.
It's like no matter how wealthy you can be, you always come back to the music. When I talk about Jay-Z, he had that great track that came out with Nipsey Hussle like a couple weeks ago. So no matter what it is, when that is your foundation to how you got into the mainstream of people know who you are. And let's talk about Jay-Z. He can get into all this. I know he was president of Def Jam at one point, and he has Rockaway.
Billionaire now.
Yeah, billionaire. He has, is it Ace? Is that the
Ace of Spades. He got 50% stake. He just sold it.
The music title.
Yeah, title. Yeah, title.
So no matter what, he still comes back to the music. So you could be right that Kanye will still come back to the music. I feel like he may not. I could be proven, but I feel like Kanye's music is.
And I love Christian music, and don't get me wrong, but those albums that he's been making with Christian music, it just don't work. Mm-hmm. And I think he prophesies and he profiting on all those Christianity, which is normal because a lot of Christians prophesize on Christianity anyway.
Yeah, of course. That's
so
the music of it.
I'm just saying that get back to the basics, Kanye. With that Life of Pablo, we want that graduation, we want that college dropout, we want those type of music back.